guys, welcome to S&T. If you are new here and you like what you see, please like, subscribe, and turn on the little bell notification. So today we are going to make homemade tortillas. I like to make a lot of our stuff homemade if I can at all. It saves money, it saves time because I don't know if you're like me, but I hate going to the grocery store, and for a lot of people, they hate baking. But if you spend at least maybe a couple of hours during like your day off, or if you're a stay-at-home mom, like a couple of hours if you can, or even like a stay-at-home dad, or if you just like baking in general or cooking or anything like that. So I'm going to start off with all my dry ingredients, and I'm going to put them in the stand mixer because I'm lazy and I don't like mixing things by hand. So I will also link the recipe down below. So let's get started, and I'll explain the heating in the pan in a minute. Alright, so first you're going to need 4 cups of all-purpose flour. And also, depending on where you live and the humidity and how far away you are from sea level, sorry, it's like totally thundering outside. How far away you are from sea level depends on if you need to add some flour or go exactly by the recipe. So I'm going to add about a half a cup more of flour because we live in the mountains. And then ask for 3 teaspoons, so we need a small one, of salt. And also, the last time I made these, some of my family members were saying that it was too salty, some of them were saying it wasn't salty enough, some of them were saying it was just right. So just go by what you prefer, if anything. So I'm going to add about 2 teaspoons. So they're not as salty as they were last time. And then we need 3 teaspoons of baking powder. And I just used the little Genero one from Walmart. And then we will mix all of the dry stuff together first. Just so that can evenly distribute throughout the whole thing, so it's not salty on one and then plain on the other and all that other stuff. Just let it mix. And then you need 4 tablespoons of lard. So I have about 5 in here, and I'm just going to put all of them in there because I have some little pieces taken out. So it should equal up to 4 either way. And we're going to combine this until the lard is broken down in the flour. And you're going to want your lard to be room temperature, or it's not going to melt and be soft enough. So the recipe also calls for 2 to 3 cups of water. Like I said before, it depends on the altitude you're in and everything like that. I normally use about 2.5 cups. So I'm going to put in 2 cups gradually. nice and pliable. And then we are going to roll it out with some flour. Usually these similar to way. I'm going to try to do it the way I did it last time. And then if we have some left over, I will do an experiment with them. And go up with a napkin holder. Alright, so I'm going to take you over here. And I have a nice floured surface. I'm going to dump that out. My mother has always taught me, clean as you go, so always make sure you have all your utensils or your bowls, whatever you're really using the most of at the moment, that's going to get all gunked up in the sink, at least soaking. So, here we go. I'm not going to do a whole lot of flour like on top or anything like this, considering it's not like regular bread. But I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit on top so I don't stick to it. I'm going to make it into a solid ball. So there's not chunks or anything in the dough when I pull it apart and smooth it out. So there's something nice and combined like that. So set that aside and make sure there's flour underneath it so it doesn't stick to your countertop. And then just make a little bit right there. And I almost forgot, you are totally going to need a rolling pin. So some people like to separate it with a knife. Some people like to just pinch off little bits and flatten it and roll it out and then put it in the pan. I'm one of the people that I prefer just to roll out a little bit. And then I will cut it into little pieces and sections that I can just grab. And then I'll set those aside. And it also depends, like once you get to like the bottom half, like a piece about like that big, would be perfect for a tortilla. So, cut them up, make your little balls, and then we'll flatten them out. And then I have a friend who says that his grandmother used to always tell him when he was helping her in the kitchen make these, that the ones that look all distorted and funky shaped are always the ones that end out tasting the best. So don't worry about it being perfectly symmetrical all the way around like store tortilla or like people who make them for a living. That also takes off the fun of it if you're so focused on trying to make it look aesthetically pleasing. Because to be honest, when you see these things, they look aesthetically pleasing either way. Because who doesn't love a nice, yummy, hot off the pan tortilla? Especially from scratch. Anything from Scratch tastes way better than store-bought anyhow, at least in my opinion. Almost done. And I almost forgot a very big main thing. But first, this is about the size you're going to need. Okay? It's a little tiny little guy. But first, I forgot something. It's a trick that'll keep your tortilla soft and flexible. I'll be right back. So, that same berry friend has given me a very lovely trick. By the way, this is maybe like my third time making tortillas, so the first time I really needed some help. So he suggested to get a plate and a couple of Walmart bags, put the plate inside the Walmart bag, and when you are done warming your tortilla, cooking it on the stove, you can put it in the bag and it'll stay soft and pliable and it'll taste like a really good tortilla. Just make sure it is not super close to the burner because you will melt the bag and start a fire, and we are not trying to do that. Alright, so I'm going to roll out the tortilla, turning it every so often. I think I made this guy a little too small, but it's okay. In my opinion, the thinner they are, the better they are for burritos or tacos, if you like the soft tacos. And this guy's almost ready. So, he has a little bit extra flour on it, so just toss it around in your hand a little bit. Get the flour off. He's nice thin looking guy. Nice and thin. So you're going to want to put your pan on medium heat. I hope you can see that. Rotate a little bit. Put your pan on medium heat. Do not put anything in your pan because your tortilla will bubble and it'll cook and it'll have those nice little brown bubbles and spots on them. So tortilla, and if your pan is just the right temperature, tortilla will start to, you see the little bubbles forming? Your tortilla will bubble just perfectly, and then you flip it. This one has a little bit too much flour on it. And you see all the little bubbles in there. Yeah, see, it's starting to get little brown marks. That's how you make a homemade tortilla. And then just flip them in the bag. And they'll stay nice and warm and flexible. Alright. This has been S&T, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye!